What is going on, everybody? It is April 3rd. I'm live on a Wednesday. This is the first time I've done this since I've always done my giveaway streams, like my milestone giveaway streams, which I haven't done in a while, but I've always done these on Wednesday nights. But with Masters Week hitting me, like today was hectic and such a big release day happening. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to go live. Just got home from hanging out at the soccer field, went straight from work to the soccer field. And now I'm frazzled and I'm still on cloud 9 from hanging out on the interview yesterday and reading all these books and just getting to hold them as like a kid on Christmas morning. So I'm like, this is a great opportunity just to I don't know, keep the hype alive. I'm behind on making content for Masters Week. So I figured get on a live stream and still dabble around. Can't say Diddy around anymore, but dabble around on another tab.
Did we lose the word Diddy now because of one man's alleged actions?
I don't think we lost it. There's just too much extra context to it. But it's Ghost Machine Day. Brand new titles are out. The ones that we've been waiting for ever since NYCC. And we're about to hang out and just enjoy getting some fresh new comics. Y'all ready? We're ready. That's a fun intro.
I love your intro so much. I'm like, are we gonna form Voltron? Like that's how excited I am with the new intro.
It feels like it. It feels like it. A couple people already popping in the chat. Dr. Von Hoot, Ghost Machine chat. Let's freaking go. See Bizzle. Woo! We got See Bizzle joining us. There we go. The leader of the Council of Comics is in the building. See Bizzle. Second time on the live stream with me, right? On this channel, at least. Second time, dude. This is the perfect stream to be on.
Tonight, especially.
He came correct.
He
now,
did.
That Rook Exodus. 23 months. Welcome back. He was in the live stream with the Jeff Johns, Fabok, and Hitch yesterday. He was the winner of the Ghost Machine giveaway. So he got Volume 1 of Geiger, Volume 1 of Junkyard Joe, and the 80-page giant A cover, which is the first appearance of Red Coat that's coming his way. And I'll get that out to you soon as I can. Most likely it'll be the beginning of next week like normal. We are Legion. Yes, sir. What is going on, Ryan Riley? Hope you're doing good today. And if anybody's in the chat and you are a content creator, content hanger outer, just let me know if you want the link if you didn't get at it and just mass put it out there. But it's in a few chats. But yeah, people are welcome to hop on with us if you want. But we are talking Ghost Machine. We're not coming on here to talk the other comic news that's happening right now. Everything you know is coming to an end.
You see, I was respectful in your post, so
yeah. No,
I won this really cool Mexican foil.
Nice.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a reprint.
Shout out to Mexico.
Yeah, shout out to actual Mexico this time. But yeah, it is a foil reprint of Iron Man's second appearance, Tales of Suspense number 40. Yeah,
that's pretty dope. And look at this, they sold out on Geiger. That's pretty cool. Dude, now that you mention that, I'm going to message Paul.
And, I have a question for you.
And see how they sold. Do that real fast.
I have a question for you, Mark.
Yes, sir.
President Sarah Nash, right here. It said her first appearance is First Ghost 1. Is that out yet, or are we? Okay.
First Ghost 1 is not out yet, so technically that's the first time she's seen is in that right there.
Yes.
During the stream, you're right at the beginning, DJ. We haven't made it anywhere of the hellos yet, but see,
Bizzle, we're live. Oh man, you have to warn me beforehand, bro. I thought it was backstage. I would have got canceled.
I would have been thrilled. I think I would have been thrilled. Don't worry. I'm looking for supersized surprises on Saturday.
Hey, which one you, Mark?
Can you show that again real quick?
Yeah.
Just so I get you big. So what he's got right here, this is the Ghost Machine number 1. This is the sampler that came out about like 2 months ago, right? Month and a half ago. So in there we got these classic comic style character bio pages, and they showed us the president here. What's her name?
Sarah Nash.
And in these bios, they give you a little description about the characters. They also give you like their first appearances and stuff. Oh, I got you, homie. And they credited her first appearance as First Ghost issue number 1, which is one of the titles on the unnamed, the unnamed Geiger verse timeline that has not released yet. So that was a huge tease. Yeah, same here. No Geiger for me yet. Oh, dang.
Gotta get that guy.
My
Gotta get that Geiger, man.
Gotta get it, man.
My LCS
Gotta get that Geiger, man. I was happy. I was able to put it on my pool, and then when I was there, they had only a few of the connecting cover sets. So I grabbed the sets to give out on Friday and in the mix. Not a cheap plug. I'm just telling you that I was happy.
Listen, I wanted to grab the connecting ones too, but I just could not afford it. And I was like, also, the stuff we have for the giveaway this month is already looking very good.
Yeah. So, I think I have just the connecting set right here. Ha!
Yeah. So this Friday on In the Mix, the weekly show, this is the Ivan Reis variant. Ivan Reis is the most recent superstar artist that they announced after the NYCC announcement. This came later, and he'll be doing Hyde Street, which is the name of the horror universe that they have. And he did this amazing connecting cover set. It's got everything that we have up until this point featured on that cover. It's absolutely amazing. Dr. Von Rees said, I got 3 copies of each coming, and I read digital last night.
Yeah,
so PDH is ready.
These are going to go to the
how
chat.
Can people win those, DJ?
Yeah.
On In the Mix, our brand new show on Fridays.
Just started last week.
Yeah, our first episode was last week. You'll just have to be in the chat, and then we'll throw up the giveaway tool, and then you enter it, hashtag most likely Ghost Machine or something like that, or just Ghost. Just be there Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
And just one thing, like, if y'all guys want these type of books and you don't want to miss out and they're selling out, listen to what DJ just said. He said he pre-ordered, put them on his pull. If you want them, put them on. These were all my Ghost Machine books were on my pull because I told him I want to pre-order it. So if you want them, put them on your pre-order list so you get them. Hey, my fellow Texan.
You know what's funny about that, C Bizzle? So some shops don't acknowledge the pre-order, especially if a book is hot. I'm just lucky that my shop is, they don't charge eBay prices.
If you, in all sincerity, and Durs can attest to this, if you have a shop that is kind of giving you issues like that, where you are doing your due diligence, ordering your books ahead of time so they can have their numbers right, and they're playing games with your pool list, there is a solution. Help is out there. It's called ABX Comics and Games. It's my local comic shop. Like, I hear these horror stories that people have of shops walk in and they don't feel welcome. They're talked down on and this and that. It's literally the polar opposite of ABX. I can't even fathom an experience like that. Like, if I went into a shop and someone acted like that, it would turn into the roast of that shop in real time. Like, other pages, but I had to say, like, I would go off.
There is a dude 5 minutes down the road from me, and people show up at my shop, which is 20 minutes from my house, and they're like, Cliff, why are you here? And I'm like, because I don't like how that dude treats me. And I have given him multiple opportunities because he's a young man, he's got a family, I get it, but no, I'm like, if you do not treat me right, and also I am local celebrity royalty, if you do not treat me right, it is not happening.
Sassy boy, you're real sassy.
Nick,
how's it going, brother?
I'm a sweetheart, but you pull for my sassiness, and you are not gonna like what you get. It is gonna get so ugly. I love you guys so much.
Real quick, right down the line. So, what you can find this week from what Ghost Machine released? We did that sampler that Bizzle just showed you guys, but they released 3 ongoing titles. One of which is one that people will be familiar with. The miniseries that started this, all the foundation of all things Ghost Machine, is Geiger issue number 1. Right there, A cover, Gary Frank. You saw DJ had the B cover. You got the other covers, Brian?
You mean the A covers?
Do you have the B cover?
No, I couldn't get I didn't get the B covers. They were gone before.
So that's a close up of the one that DJ had, that Ivan Reis B cover. And I will point out that the A cover is not a wraparound.
That's the only one that's not a wraparound.
Yeah. So Geiger dropped, and they also dropped the blank, which I've seen a lot of people bringing these up. Yeah, the Geiger one has the merch ad on the back, I believe. But this next one up, a character that was introduced back in that 80-page giant, the one that I've been the most excited about diving into their story is Redcoat. And this one was a wraparound. The Brian Hitch, glorious wraparound. The Founding Fathers. It looks like Daniel Boone there. You got the Northerner hiding out over here. Little Einstein, probably Annie Oakley or something. Like this has got to be real fun. I went straight into a Comic Clear backer board.
I need to get those.
Wow.
And the blank. And then the brand new title. Brand new. First time in print outside of just the sampler in Geiger was Rook Exodus. This is John's, obviously, and Jason Babak. Absolutely insane wraparound.
Yo, that one was my favorite.
This is going to be a lot of people's favorites, like a lot of people's.
Yo, legit. And from the sampler, it didn't grab me. And I told you that, Mark. Rook Exodus didn't grab me from the sampler. When I read it, and then I always read my books in order of excitement level. So, of course, I read Geiger #1 first, then Redcoat, which was amazing. And then when I got to that Rook Exodus, I was pleasantly surprised. The best out of the bunch for me today.
So I don't know why, because I mentioned it to the guys when I had them on the panel. I'm like, I'm a sci-fi guy, and I figured I would naturally be like drawn to that one, and I wasn't. I think it's just because of the spread. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because I'm a sci-fi guy, and I'm kind of just the overexposure, and the rest felt newer or fresher. But I was shocked, and like I got halfway through Rook, and it dawned on me, I'm like, bro, this was a Jeff Johns book. Like it's almost like I forgot that before I decided to pick it up and read it. Because by the time I'm halfway through the book, I'm like, where's this going to go from this issue? Like they're all about to die from the first page. Like there's no hope. Like it's just death. Like there's no, everything's already.
Well, there's this much hope because like he's trying to build his own rocket and he seems to be more knowledgeable than most.
Yeah.
Yeah. So synopsize what happens with Rook. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I love the premise of this, the way that we start at the end almost. Like we were introduced to a world that is destroyed and it had to be left. Like everyone, they found another planet. It's named Exodus, and they already have they have their own Wayland Corporation of a sort, you know, that built the means of traveling and of getting people there, and they got them all there. And within a year, it all went to hell. And they had to Exodus. And that's where the book starts, is with those that were left behind. And ironically, it's the one that worked for the company to help terraform the planet. I'm like, what a great premise.
And then we learned that the people who left, either their shuttles left the atmosphere or did not.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Like some people made it out, some people did not.
So for every one that makes it out, 50 crash back down, and everyone dies.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Durr says Rook is absolutely that dude for me. Spawn better watch his back. Rook is about to reach all my sweet spots.
Oh my God, that is exceptionally high praise.
He's talking about the tank. He's talking about the tank.
That was definitely some taint talk.
Oh, that was so absolutely. My taint felt it. It was so deep. I mean, my God.
Yeah, do y'all remember?
He's in denial, but I saw him flinch.
Y'all remember the story, right? From the Ghost Machine 1. It was pretty much just Rook and Swine running through the woods to an outpost, you know, to look for a dire wolf, and seeing that there's others about and others equal danger. It seems like everything about that book equals death. Even trying to build your way out, like he's trying to work on his escape vessel single-handedly, and he takes a fall. And this was interesting. I'd like to hear some thoughts about the structure of the book, how we're being introduced to this world, but just from a moment of existing. You know, it's dangerous. You fall, take a bad spill, no one to catch you, no safety, anything. Next thing you know, we have flashback. What did y'all think of that flashback sequence?
Yeah,
I thought it was great. I came at the right moment. And by the way, he mentioned the animal feedback from like using those devices, right? And like when he fell, he was like, "That's right, because I can't fly." Right? But the birds are always talking about flight in his head when the device is on.
I thought it came with a lot of heart.
The birds are like, "Fly, you idiot, fly!" He's like, "Don't fly."
The amount of context that they gave us to our character in that flashback too. I mean, it had had his like connection to his home, like the struggle to survive it, like in the world in the state that was, his connection to his father, the kind of the idea of like the government burning down farms because they want your land and they want you off of it because they want ownership of it. Like that was a little close to reality.
The way the dude spinned it on him too, like, how do you know your father didn't do this on purpose? And it's like, oh man, he's like, I know my father. That's not what happened.
It's like this farm's only been in our family forever. That's all he lived for.
Yeah,
and the fact that he died in the fire, right? His father.
Yeah, he died in the fire. No, that whole thing that was major sus. That was so direct. That was so direct.
And then he's just like, oh yeah, sorry for your loss. and just walks off.
And he's like, take the deal. It's the best deal you're ever gonna get. You know, like, damn, dude.
Wayland Yutani vibes is definitely the vibes that I got. Thanks for pointing that out, Mark.
Oh yeah, the design, like I mentioned it to him, but man, the designs of this world, the intricacies of everything, especially like the mechanics and stuff.
Two things. This book is a thick book.
It's there's 48 pages with ads. 48 with ads. I think he said 36 without.
$3.99 per book.
Yep.
Only for 48 pages. You know.
I'm telling you, this and Spawn are the best deals on the market.
Yes.
Yeah, when I picked these up, I was expecting it to be $8.99 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then when I saw $3.99, I was just like, oh hell yeah, we're giving these away.
That's why I pick up an extra copy.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
So we have these next three. After these three, what is the next title that's coming out?
The next one that's confirmed we have a release schedule for is Hyde Street. Now, looking back on that and having talked to them, Hyde Street is the name of their horror universe imprint. And so I'm thinking that's not just the Ivan Reese Hyde Street. It's going to be, because he confirmed that it's going to be the next wave in 6 months will be 3 more books dropping. So I think it's going to be their horror line, but I want to think it's going to be Hornsby and Halo, Hyde Street, and Rockefellers, because those are the ones that were in Ghost Machine 1. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know Hyde Street is confirmed October, which makes sense because that's horror month. Imagine doing a horror book in horror month.
Yeah, blow your mind.
I was gonna say, with the exception of the name, the Rockefellers, all of them sound like a potential horror supernatural book.
Yeah, Hornsby and
Devour, First Ghost, The Soulless.
Yeah, Devour and The Soulless are in the Hyde Street thing, and now it has me thinking back as well to the Hyde Street book in the Hyde Street sampler. It was like, remember, that was 2 stories. It was like a dual. They gave you like 2 time periods that they're touching on in there. You had me at 4 book. I sure did. T-Dubs. I'm going to send you the link if you want to hop on. Please do.
What was it like, Mark?
Which one?
Have those epic creators.
It was surreal. It was absolutely surreal. But if you watch it, you can tell. Like I'm one note, man. I'm one note. If I was talking to you in real life, or if I was talking to the president himself in real life, you're going to get the same version of me. And I think that played to the favor because I feel like they had a good time, and that made me even more happy. It hit a point where, like, I sent the thank yous out to the group chats last night, but I can't say thank you to all of y'all enough, because y'all helped push this show. Y'all helped like the post, comment on the post, spread the excitement and everything. And it hit the point in the stream where Jeff Johns just paused and he was like, yo, I'm loving this chat because y'all showed up. Y'all showed up for me. Y'all showed up for them. And it was absolutely amazing. And you didn't just show up. You showed up with you brought it. You know what I mean? And you made sure they had a good time. And it really drove it. It really did. And I can't say thank you guys enough, because I that was a huge deal for me. Like I've grown up around these funny books. My very first job ever was at my LCS. And within a year from working there, one of my favorite events that's ever happened in comics released. And I fell in love with Infinite Crisis. I fell in love with Jeff Johns at Green Lantern Rebirth before that. And that was the first time I actually ever got to talk to him. Like, he has shaped my comic like journey, you know, and like I've been a stand for his work since the day y'all met me, and to do that was just next level, and to get to actually help them feels good too, to help push and promote their stuff, because I've seen plenty of messages, especially during that stream, and people have reached out, and I've seen people commenting under stuff. Appreciate Legion for letting me know about this. So I like to know that we have that kind of reach, and I believe in this product. I know it's good. I know this is what we're missing when we go every week, when we're like, you know what, man, like this event was fun, but Dark Crisis was good, but it just missing that X factor. You know, ASM has been trashed for 10 years straight. Why is that? This is the answer to that. This is. So if people will pick it up and read it, you'll see the difference in a good comic and a mid comic. And then you can start talking about it, and they'll make the other ones better. This is how we get better books, is this right here. So
Nick went right to that last page of a banger.
Ursol. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Super fire. Look at the gauntlet.
Yo. That reveal though.
Yo.
Oh shit.
You know what? I wasn't big on Redcoat. Like the character design for this, like I'm not into this Renaissance man kind of. This, as thick as this book was, it read really quickly. It read really well. The dialogue was punchy too. Like it was good. It was
it was the fun one. Redcoat was the fun one. He's a son bitch.
Yeah, you know? I kind of see Legion in that in the movie. That's him. That's him right
That's
there.
me if I'm immortal.
Yeah, for me, it gave Redcoat gave me similar to like a Pirates of the Caribbean vibe, where it's like fun. Yeah. So I got that. But Mark, back to the interview from yesterday. I think obviously you did a fantastic job, and like you said, it's easy when you 1000% believe in the product, and all you're doing is relying on your passion. That's what it's all about. Redcoat, Rook, Geiger.
Yeah,
I freaking love Geiger.
I'm shocked.
I don't plan. I don't write shit down. I just start talking.
I was actually surprised that Geiger was my third as well.
Yeah, well, it's because we're the most familiar with it. We're not starting something new. We're jumping back in and moving.
No, but that was dope in Geiger when that dude had the little kid and he was just like, I'm gonna gut him and spill his guts, and then he just saw his son. Like the dude was holding his son and threw the fucking baton right in his eye.
Yeah, that was amazing. Geiger's definitely the more R-rated one. I like how you turn the page and it's like a moment went by and everyone's laying there dead with burns on their face.
Yo, with the burn on the face.
Hey,
I heard that.
What's the difference? Like I didn't see it on the timeline. How far apart are Geiger and the Rook?
About 25 years or so.
Rook isn't on the timeline. Rook is a standalone universe. You have the Geiger universe, you have the Rook universe, you have the horror universe, and you have the Family Odyssey universe. So under Ghost Machine, you have separate universes that, hey, they're not connected. Hey,
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Geiger happens in like 2050, and Exodus happens in 2173. Well, it starts the Exodus in 2153 or 2152, but present day in Exodus is 2173.
Yeah, I've watched there be like some kind of like that's so. I got to go back and comb through them because I found a few Easter eggs. But watch there be like some kind of old torn up newspaper. The headline says "Unknown War starts" or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this a little tease. Like let me see it.
Yeah, you know what's wild in Geiger? How he was reading a Cormac McCarthy book. And then I was reading the One Hand, and there was a Cormac McCarthy book and a scene in that as well.
Nice. Yeah. You know when Simon jumps out of the window in the beginning of Redcoat, when he jumps out and goes running from the dudes, when he lands in the street, he lands on Hyde Street.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, he lands on Hyde Street.
As we're all reaching for.
Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it first? I'll blow you up big.
You know, there was something.
Hey.
There was something I read last night while I was going through these.
How about this?
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Is it me?
All right, go back one page. Hold it up. All right, now do you see where your left hand is?
This
Your
one?
left hand, yeah. Turn around and read. Yeah, flip the book around and read what's on that building. Bottom left, Mr. X-ray.
Hey, yo.
Top right of the building, and it's halfway cut off Hyde Street.
Oh yeah, Hyde Street is cut off.
Hey, yo.
Bro, they landed on Hyde Street.
That is
Oh.
Hyde Street, Mr. X-ray. Yep.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
And I brought that up to them vaguely when I was talking about how the pacing of the book, like when you can place it by the building. So because I caught that when I turned the page, that same building is in the panel but farther back. So now they just created the speed in which the book is taking place and that you're reading it because there's that much detail in the art.
Mhm.
I'm like, and John's like, well, Easter egg isn't necessarily the right word because it's more than that. I'm like, let's go. Let's go.
One thing with Jeff Johns, he's the reason why I collect DC to this day. I start off with the Blackest Night. He made Aquaman cool again.
Hell yeah, he did.
With all the different spectrum of the lanterns, that made me buy the Red Lantern's New 52 book. And so Jeff Johns has been, and plus he's also a fellow Michiganer like myself. So much respect.
Let's just look at his influence because, like, my wife, she doesn't read books, but she watches movies. I'm like, I'm like, and I told her, like, the Flash movie, the movie we saw, the plot of going back trying to save your mom, that was based on a comic that Jeff Johns wrote. My wife loves Stargirl. Like, I'm like, this like, she knows the story about like the creation of Stargirl and Jeff Johns' sister and stuff, and so like she was when I told her like this is the guy that created Stargirl, she's like, holy shit, how'd you get him on there? I'm like, I don't know. But then I said, the Green Lantern movie, that was only made because of how popular he made those comics at the time. The Shazam movie with the whole family, that's because of Jeff Johns. Like everything that you see is because of this man.
I agree.
Goated. Yep.
Supremely.
What do y'all expect?
Geiger was a slow burn.
What?
Yeah. Well, no, it had action in the front end, man. It definitely had action.
Yeah.
It's really picking up where that Ghost Machine 1 tease with the guy like dropping there could be news out there. And the guy at the end, that was a cool little tease. I wonder what's going on with the zapping.
That was cool. I think with Geiger, I just have I guess an emotional connection to the character because we've experienced his loss with him losing his family and stuff like that. So I'm always going to gear towards something that is more emotionally driven as opposed to just like straight up action. But I do agree that Exodus was the best out of these three books. I keep calling it Exodus. It's Rook. It's Rook.
It's Rook Exodus. One,
Rook
the
Exodus.
other, both. It's all the same.
Rook.
Cliff, what's your pecking order for the three of them?
Oh yeah, no, it goes Rook, Redcoat, and Geiger.
I'm 100%.
Actually, that was not how I expected it to go because nothing so far had made me interested in Redcoat until Redcoat, and I was like, why do our founding fathers have superpowers?
Yo, when he walked in and Ben Franklin's naked on the table,
I was like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. And then the way he's like, I'm grabbed by an outer force, right? And suddenly time is irrelevant and everything is one. And then I'm just dropped back into play. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Bro, it was so funny too when he's like, sometimes it's different when I die. I'll come right back. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes the first time I woke up in my own grave and I immediately died again.
He died again. Suffocating. Oh, shit.
That's why on the stream when Paul said, I'd be interested to know what happens. I'm like, you'll find out. And we all kind of that was hilarious.
And it's
like a good balance in these books, like tonally, you know what I mean? The fact that they got different vibes, they have their own character, they have their own feel, they have their own personality, and they lean into that. And the fact they're coming out of the same mind, that just like speaks volume to the creative power that Ghost Machine has. How they say we literally just sit there like we're doing now and just talk about these things and come up with interesting or funny things. It just happens organically. It's coming from a pure place of passion. Like, and that's what all this shit has been missing.
I gotta be honest, like, because I truly feel that if he did not assemble such an amazing team, I don't know if we would feel that difference in these books. But because he assembled such an amazing team, not only does it feel like the action moments leap off the pages, but they truly feel like completely unique stories, but like there is this tether that I can sense. And I don't know if I made it up when I fell asleep after reading this, or if I swear I actually read it. Someone called this the unnamed war timeline, right? They refer, and I was like, what? And I was like, that sounds amazing. And then that was it. I was like stuck in my head all day this morning after going to bed. But I don't know if I made that up.
No, that's what it is.
it
It's the unknown war and the unnamed. It's the unnamed timeline,
Yeah.
but it's the unknown war is what the big mystery is.
So
but it's
like,
the timeline is the unnamed.
So that was like the last thing in my head before I went to bed, and I don't remember why it was the last thing on my mind before I went to bed. When I woke up, I was just like, I really like those books, you know?
Yeah.
There's a thing for me. I go through this with movies and everything. I'm like, oh wow, did I really like that movie? And then 2 days later, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't really like that movie. What happened?
DJ, pedal your pedaling.
No, so I was just putting this stuff together because I literally right before I got in these.
Well, let's talk about it real quick. Announce it while we're here.
So this Saturday, I'll be at King Con in Park Ridge, New Jersey, selling some wares. I'll be selling the exclusive Austin LeMay art print. So I was just putting together some of the table stuff. So I was getting everything that I'm going to have on the table. I'll have these acrylic stands with the price point, and then here there's like a little blurb on Comics Curing Cancer. It says Comics Curing Cancer is an official campaign of the American Cancer Society. Through a myriad of efforts, the focus of C3 is to raise funds to support the ACS in their efforts in cancer research, education, outreach, and patient family support. Cancer is the ultimate supervillain affecting virtually every one of us, but together we have proven you don't have to be a superhero to save lives. In the 3 years since C3 was founded, Comics Curing Cancer, and I'll slow down for this because this is amazing, with the help of the comic book community, has raised over $80,000 for the American Cancer Society. So that's in the last 3 years. And then in the bottom, it just has the Comics Curing Cancer October event, which is the virtual event that we have to speak about and, release the lineup and talk to all the channels that want to be involved. And then the link tree or the QR code to the link tree to get merch, all this stuff. And then our 3 logos, since we're kind of headlighting the entire thing. So the print, whoever comes on Saturday at King Con, the print will be $20 in person. If there are any left over, obviously there'll be a little bit more because of shipping and things like that. So
the handling raises the price.
Yo, you got to handle.
Well, I'm gonna do a lot of handling on Saturday. I'm looking
DJ with his first exclusive.
I don't know, Cliff. I saw Mrs. Links put in her brass knucks in her purse. I like to see.
If you don't try to jump into my arms for a hug, what are we even doing there?
No, you could pick her up by her head. She legit. She's 4'11", so just grab her and just move her to the side.
No, I know the dangers of the short women. They are super dangerous. They got fast moves and stuff. You know, if she
Latinas.
Yeah, if she learns how to shoot a chancleta, and walk in heels, I'm done for.
Yeah.
Jumping back on this, Paul dropped his tier in here. He said Geiger with the Atomic Knight, and also, is there another one out there? It definitely has me hooked. But Redcoat was my favorite story. Rook, my favorite art. Nice. Yeah, Redcoat, like for me, I have the same list as Taylor. That one is hits. I love history stuff. Getting to play with it. Y'all remember the movie Summer of Alt History? Like there was an entire summer blockbuster year when Days of Future Past came out, or was it First Class it was First Class where we toy with different historical events, and Transformers Dark of the Moon was the same year. And then we did the moon landing kind of thing. And there was just a popular little fad that year. I love doing that kind of stuff. Like with Watchmen, with the comedian being the man on the grassy knoll and stuff. And Redcoat has those vibes, and getting introduced to little Einstein that he already knew about Redcoat had me hooked. But did y'all notice how much these felt like a straight up comic book all the way down to the final page when it ended with them in a jam, and you have the artist came in with the blurb there that says next month, a genius and an idiot. Guess who is who above? Like talking to the readers, like how Stan Lee used to do, and just kind of they're hyping their own stuff with us in the moment, and just so well done. Man.
That's super
This
dope. I
right
can't
here.
wait to next issue where they show Simon Pure teaching Alexander Hamilton how to rap.
This right here. American Widow X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was in Ghost Machine, right? And
no, that's the Northerner is revised, Widow X is revised, and this is I think this is the second revision because they added the monster was made, or maybe this is the revised one that was revised in the Ghost Machine 1. The monster is made, Widow X and the Northerner were added to the timeline.
Okay.
I've got an old one where I can check. Here's the original timeline that dropped right here. This is also the first appearance of Junkyard Joe that's part of the channel member monthly giveaway. I've got a massive Ghost Machine. You're going to walk away with all the Ghost Machine keys. No, so here we go. I knew this wasn't the OG one. Here's the OG one. I guess I better make myself bigger.
Yeah. You're so big, dog.
So that's what it looked like originally. So I guess it hasn't been revised. He mentioned that it was revised, but I could have sworn there was one of these in an earlier issue.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the first time we saw it, and it's still the same.
Yeah, that's definitely the same. I'm excited to see who the monster is when it says the monster is made, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if that's not the big dude from Hyde Street, like, because there's that big Frankenstein looking dude from Hyde Street. That he's like front and center on the Geiger cover, the B cover. Like, I wonder if that's the monster. I mean, look at him. That's clearly Frankenstein, right?
That is a monster. Yeah.
He's got a hood up, but he's got like he's sewn together by a bunch of other body parts.
Who's the nerd right below his arm?
That's Mr. X.
Okay.
Mr. X-Ray. And then there's the world's most dangerous Boy Scout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, that's definitely Frankenstein.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm waiting for a Rook. I'm waiting for a Rook action figure.
Dude, that's one thing that I wish I would have remembered to ask him. I had it on my mind going into it. CJ, you did a great job with the interview, even though you fanboyed out. Way better than another scrubby interview with a channel I will not name at this time. Keep doing that kind of content. Yeah, if they keep asking me, I'll keep telling them they can come on. But that's not a for everybody.
Yeah,
feel free to email me to see if you can come on. Just know that this is not an interview-based channel. I do play favorites when it comes to that kind of stuff. I've hosted the Miranda Brothers, John Jang, and Jeff Johns and company. Like, I'm happy to promote the people that I will cheerlead for.
I'm sorry. Who in that lineup? I'm sorry. Did you say John Jang? Did I miss John Jang? Do I have to go searching through your videos for this?
He made fun of me like 4 times, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was on the channel. That wasn't the first time he was on the channel. One time I got him just to come on to this was low brow of us. Like, we did a mystery box battle. And we had John come on as a judge, and it was other people's art. It was like his peers. like
that was hilarious.
That was savage of us. Here's
January finale unboxing from last year.
No, that was just like man. I had a rough January this year. That's when I got sick with the allergies, and my ear was all messed up. But
who is Brent? I found a video with you with somebody named Brent.
Yeah, Brent is like my oldest good friend, and he was supposed to be co-hosting my channel early on, but his schedule didn't line up.
Well, I found that video. Real. This evening is just full of surprises for me.
All my content's right there. The only stuff that I've turned private, like my channel started out as just being a place that housed home videos called The Adventures of Mark and Finn. So I have a couple of just when Finn was a little bit younger, just us just doing random stuff, hanging out, him doing cute stuff as a baby. I would post it on YouTube so family could see it. It was just fun. And
I can't wait to watch this.
That's why when I started my channel, it was called The Adventures of Mark and Finn, and then it switched up to Legion of Comics. And Finn went in the first little collection thing that we posted on my channel. Me and Finn go through with him sitting on the table showing the books when he's like 2 years old. It's awesome.
I saw a very old. I think you reposted your first video with Finn. You did. You posted a video.
That photo, just that
Yeah.
screenshot.
And I was like, damn. By the way, Brett has excellent corn hair. He really does. Tell him I said hi. And but I'm gonna watch this later. I got something to look forward to right here.
Yeah, but I think John Chang, out of all the creators, like it's different. Like he's the homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I was like, I was linked up with John before I was on YouTube. Like my very first, you'll see like my very first unboxing on my channel, I think, is the Draken New Dawn Big Time Collectibles John Jang exclusive. That's how I discovered BTC and John Jang. And I started talking to Nelson in DMs and John like back then, you know what I mean? And he's just the Nelson at Big Time Collectibles and John both are just absolutely genuine, good, real people. Like, it's just all there is to it.
Yeah, the best. Like he follows us, comments on our stuff, and
listen,
that level of engagement.
Durs led that charge to get him to Heroes Con, and I jumped right on that bandwagon. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. Are you going to Heroes, Cliff?
God willing.
God willing.
Just say yes, Cliff. Just say yes until you don't show up.
No, Mark, because you already made it. You already made it that I say God willing. That is all I can give you, because I can't give you the affirmative, because then when I don't show up, it's just like, well,
you a lie.
There you have it.
Yeah, you a whole lie.
You a whole ass lie.
What about you, C?
Go on, get going now, get.
See, are you gonna try to make the Heroes or not?
If I hit the lottery tonight,
or not?
Nice. Oh no.
This Heroes Con is this June 14th through 16th. Me, DJ, and Rob will be set up at booth number 1769. Heyo, with the baddest C3 stuff you've seen ever.
Yeah, I would love to go to Heroes Con, because like DJ, you one of the people I want to meet the most, because I watched you before I even got onto YouTube. Mark, you know,
whose channel are you on right now, bro?
I know, Mark, but I watched,
thank you so much,
I was watching DJ before I started YouTube. I was like, oh, he's hip hop and comics. I like hip hop. I like comics. So I started subbing to him. I got a totally different name on another YouTube channel that I follow you on, DJ. So appreciate you.
You're gonna make me cry up on this piece.
Mark, I'm sorry you weren't mine first, but you are in the top 5 forever, baby.
Thank you. Me and Mark, we disagree a lot, because I'm a Marvel head first and then a DC guy. So, but I like debating with Mark, because Mark.
Yeah, me and Steve is a clash. I'm a quality guy first.
Yeah,
and I'm not biased about the companies. I let the companies decide who's on.
Yeah. Top. I got allergies. Oh shit!
I think I said.
Thank you, Brian.
I said this on Marcus's stream last night. I'd rather have fun disagreeing with people over comics, not in a negative way, but just like that's so much. I said this to Jeff Johns. Like, part of the fun of this isn't just the story, but it's talking about it with people, arguing about who would win in a fight, arguing over first appearances. And I made sure he knew that we're going to decide what the first appearance.
Yo,
yeah, I saw that.
I know that's what you wrote in your. I know that's what you wrote in your book. We decided, not you, sir. Yeah, I was just like.
That's right. The community is going to tell you. We are going to tell you.
So it's safe to say this is.
He ate that right up.
So this is safe to say this is Sarah Nash's first appearance, right? Not that first Ghost mess, right?
Well, first Ghost ain't out yet, so I guess.
So technically,
so like, what do they say?
Cameo?
All right, this is all right. Here we go. This is what. What does that book say? Rook's first appearances.
Ghost Machine #1.
Yeah, Ghost Machine #1. Yeah.
So how is that not her first appearance too? I mean, she's not in any story panels. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
But
okay,
bro, let me show you what they credit this book. No, what is it? Junkyard Joe says. I got the first Northerner right here somewhere. Here we go. I'm so hyped to see the Northerner, like this Northern soldier holding like an Uzi and stuff. Like, this is gonna be dope. So they credit this panel with the. All right, let me pop you up real quick. Hold on. So there's the Northerner. We first see him in Geiger Ground Zero issue number 2. That's where we get our first proper look at him. So you want to see his? You want to see his? They credit his first appearance as this panel right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Go on, get.
And they let us know it's Geiger, obviously, with 3 awesome panels. Oh no, they found us. We have to go back and fight. Barney, Geiger, and then Bloop gone. Yeah, that's got
That's
me
a
hot.
boo.
Got me hot. That's a cameo if I ever seen one. The no speaking part, we just get to see a panel of him in Ground Zero 2. So first full appearance. I don't know.
You know what the mess up part is now?
Ghost Machine number 1, right?
No, the mess up part is I got to get a small, a short box, just so I can have the Ghost Machine universe in it.
All together.
Yeah, dude, I started doing that too. Like, so I started that really when I decided to pull Volume 1 Transformers, and I'm still saving the last issue in that run for Heroes Con because I'm not planning on picking up any like big boy book. I just ain't in the mood. Like, I got a bunch of keys. It just ain't how I feel like collecting right now. I've been in a reading mood for like the past year, you know what I mean? Like, and you go through it in waves, you know, like, like
you go through.
I feel like selling books. I feel like just reading. Give me some trades, you know, and I want to get that, you know, as like just like something fun to chase, you know. And when someone says that'll be $15, sir, I'm like, I'll give you $7, you know, like there's no principle. But I do plan on picking up like Hulk 1 through 3, most likely 3. You know, I'm gonna get one of the original 6. That's like a ritual for me. Like, go to Heroes, get one of those. And outside of that, when I started getting Transformers, I started keeping my Energon stuff behind it. I started with Transformers when Duke came out, dropped it in there in reading order. So Duke, Cobra, and Transformer are all lined up in reading order, being that Duke spun directly out of the event in Transformers. You know, it's timeline balance. So I think I'm going to pull my Ghost Machine and do that. And it's also easier to file it all as well.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to come out? You know how like those short boxes behind you that has like a theme to them? Yeah. You think they're going to come out with a short box for Ghost Machine?
I don't think I ever seen Image do any of them. I've seen Boom do them. I've got Power Ranger ones.
Yeah.
And I've seen Marvel and DC do them.
There aren't any Spawn ones?
Are there any Spawn design short boxes?
He has a tattoo of the short box with Spawn on the short box.
Yeah, and Master Commander's poking out of it.
What up, Nick? That's true.
Walking Dead we go. CJ confirmed. That is right. Walking Dead has.
Oh yeah, Walking Dead has. Yeah,
bro, if they do Ghost Machine shorts, I wish they would. I'm not buying a short box to keep this in. For me, that makes 0 sense. There's a lot of these books. I've already got a lot of these books.
Yeah.
I've got numerous issue 1s of Geiger alone, and then 6 of those, 6 of Junkyard Joe, bunch of I have all the covers for the 80-page Giant. I have every cover for Ghost Machine 1. I just bought, this is what, 3 books, 2 covers, 3 covers, 9 books today. Like, this is going in a long box and going and getting filed properly.
Yeah.
Because I have a room with long boxes in them, you know. I'll just go put it in there.
And he's gonna do all that while wearing the hat and t-shirt.
There you go, baby. The Flamingo Warden in the house.
Bro, I got yeah, dude, that was so.
Oh yeah.
Didn't think that
animal.
Like, we talk animals now. We talk animals around here. We bout that life.
Hey, so I guess in the Rook universe, that's your mask.
Yeah, since we play with it. So what does this have to do?
I can just, whenever Mark is wearing the Rick universe, I just see him leading a legion of cats and dogs. They're just, it's just every feline and every canine creature just answer to Mark, and that's it. They just go.
See, my animal, if I was a warden, I would be like the chipmunk warden, and the chipmunks would be like those English chipmunk gentlemen.
Oh Lord.
You know what I'm talking about?
Like the Rescue Rangers?
Chipmunks? No, the chipmunks was like, we need to go drink some tea.
Oh,
Let's say it, the gay ones.
They're not gay. They're distinguished English gentlemen.
I know what you're talking about.
And all that swishy tail action was just 2 really excited jets. I understand.
Now I got to go back and watch those cartoons.
Because they're confirmed bachelors.
Wait a minute, what?
They go back and watch it.
Now, if you were talking about Toad and Frog, that's a whole different ballgame. Toad and Frog, you know what I mean?
They
those are uppity hetero people, okay? There's
Toad and Frog are not hetero. Toad and Frog.
Okay.
They legitimately retcon Toad and Frog to be smashing mushrooms, bro.
Yeah, they're like so I don't know. The cartoon is fairly new because we put on the cartoon for like my niece and we was like, oh shit, Toad and Frog. There are a couple Toad and Frog, like out and about. Proud of you, Toad and Frog.
I mean, they were created by a closeted gay man. So what can I don't know what to say.
DJ sounded like a Canadian. You are a great big uncle fucker. Philip, why did you call me an uncle fucker? Because you fucked your uncle.
You did that a little too well. Do you have any bloodline in the North?
I thankfully no.
Yeah, while we're right here, I do want to show this off. This, of course, the Legion loot every month. I have the Big Time Collectibles mixed books in there that they send over to the channel to give away. But the ones that I pulled for this month, because I plan ahead for this kind of stuff, I picked up Junkyard Joe number 6, beautiful variant with.
Hold up, I'm gonna pretend you're me showing the links box. Boo! Fuck that nano gauntlet.
So this cover was great. All of his fallen brothers from the story. That shit crushed in issue 1, dude. It was insane.
Yeah,
that's the first appearance of the Northerner, says Jeff Johns. But what does he know? And then we got Tiger number 5, which is technically the first cameo of Junkyard Joe, and that is the which one was this?
B cover.
Jerry Ordway variant, which when I see these people doing these variants, I'm like, when y'all gonna announce them? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they coming?
You know what I love about the Jerry Ordway variant? He really makes the dog just seem like so right, like just so like sweet and double-headed and innocent.
Yeah. Now, the polar opposite of that is the Gary Frank cover for number 6, which is the first appearance of Junkyard Joe. Barney does not look sweet in that one.
No.
And then we got Geiger Ground Zero number 2, which is the Northerner proper. You get a little tease of him in that epilogue in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you got the Jason Fabok number 1 first appearance of Geiger in a 9.8. And
I think if people were smart, they will be picking up that Geiger number 1.
Yeah,
like tons and tons of copies of it.
Then the first appearance period of Redcoat, straight up, in 80-page giant. And then, I always grab those Fire Jane covers. Iron Man 1 getting thrown in there. The first appearance of Moon Knight, because I know people like that stuff. And the first appearance of the new Ghost Rider is the Hood as a Ghost Rider. So, and I'm throwing one of the numerous copies of Gary Keep 'em Moist Baker's book Need in there. So if you already have it, you can pay it forward to someone who doesn't have it. But if you don't have it, you can ruin your shorts with that copy.
It's funny. I bought some books from Pop's Attic, and he put one of those in there, and I already have a signed copy for Gary. So
me and Pop both bought a stack of them. We bought like 5 apiece, and then we both got a signed copy from Gary. I just bought enough to pay him for it along the way and kind of space him out to keep the hype alive, keep the conversation alive, keep them popping up in places.
Yeah, I'm giving my second copy away. So
you're not going to use it before you give it away, are you?
No.
I thought that was a prerequisite. Wasn't that a prerequisite?
I want to have my fiance read it first.
Have her read it to you.
My copy of Need is under the mattress.
Send my son to grandma's house after she reads it.
You're going to send your son straight through puberty to get his hands on that.
That's good reading.
Yeah, my son he can read, so I don't want him to read that though.
Come on.
So Daddy, what's a purple dome?
Jeff Johns mentioned that like they're just getting these books started, but they do know how they're all going to end.
Yeah.
What do y'all think that means? Like they're all slated as ongoing right now, and I mentioned it to him. I said like if it was me writing these things. And knowing that this timeline exists all under the banner of this unknown war that's clearly been raging for a long time, knowing how Junkyard Joe ended with that portal, like in my mind, I would say they're scouting picking all these people out of time, and they're going after the source of this war. And they got that NDA face when I said that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, I totally agree. It's going to be one of those timeline things, and they're going to converge to take on the big bad that was
Mhm.
behind that whole unnamed war. And
No.
name that motherfucker.
Do y'all think we've seen it? Like, I have a feeling we've seen the catalyst.
Yeah,
We just don't
we
know
had
it.
to.
Oh yeah,
I
there have
think
definitely
I
been
think it
hints.
all
Yeah.
ties to the explosion at Geiger. I think
Yeah.
it all ties to that.
Yeah.
But it has to go back at least to 1776 in some way.
Mhm.
I mean, I know that there's clues there because I'm so you got to know there's clues there if you're familiar with Jeff Johns. It's the
Mhm.
details are already there. Where when we get there, you'll be able to go back and be like, there.
I mean, so like from Redcoat, right? Could it be some sort of like Illuminati shadow type government that's
It has
running
to.
things
We got
Yeah.
the
like from that
magic
time
and
all
the
the way up to now?
science.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Dr. Doom all over again.
And you know the whole concept of like magic is only science that we don't yet understand kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Mhm.
Keep in mind, we started Red Coat #1, which is the earliest part of the timeline, and the founding fathers already have
Mhm.
knowledge of this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
The bees.
there's more to that even. So, but God, that was hilarious, dude. Just hiding for his life, and he just falls down and ends up becoming immortal. Like this is definitely like a Jack Sparrow vibe, like
Yeah.
you said. He
Yeah.
falls up.
I like how he says that the founding fathers were brave and they were, fast forwarding, and they're like, all right, that's not me.
Yeah. He's running like ah. It's funny because that transition of those panels, it's just like it feels like he's leading that group into battle, and it's just like he's just running away from them,
He's right.
which is hilarious. Yeah,
You gotta see Indiana Jones running out of the jungle. Start the
Yeah,
fire.
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, that shit is fucking hilarious. Yeah, I got all those Jack Sparrow type vibes. I read because when I read these books, I always get a character, an established actor or something like that. I have to read it in their voice, and for some reason, Redcoat to me was Chris Hemsworth.
Flo, the link is in the chat, brother. Hop on. This is the time to hop on, man. Take a bathroom break or something. Hop on.
I'm mad at you now, Mark. Since you pointed that little one Easter egg in Redcoat with the Hyde Street, now I got to go back and pick up my Junkyard Joe, the first volume with Geiger, the Geiger Ground Zero. Go back and look at all these books just to see if I can find some more hints.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like Barney's Food Bowl. Like if you look close, it says rough day on it and stuff. And dude, I'm telling y'all, like you can live in these panels.
So Bizzle, you don't have Junkyard Joe or the Geiger trade?
I don't have the trade. I have the single floppies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made sure like when it comes to no offense to Marvel or DC, but when a new universe pops up, I'm on it. Similar to like you got the Energiverse and now you got the Ghost Machine. My biggest thing right now is the Massiverse and Image with Radiant Black. I've been collecting every single one of those except for 1 or 2 titles. But so when a new universe pops up, I'm on it. So I should get the trade because that way I can just don't have to dig through my long boxes, as you can see behind me.
Yo, how funny was it when old buddy tried to fall on his own sword?
he just kicked it.
He just kicked it right
And then
up.
he didn't even know what it was called.
Yeah. It's called Harakira, you big dummy.
And that's kind of cool too, to a testament of how much knowledge is lost and left behind,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love things like this though.
Start civilization all over. Now, you think the other Geiger or the other glowing man is going to have the same powers as Geiger? Or is that some sort of suit? Because if you notice his hand, he had like gloves on.
They have those rings and stuff holding the glove down. Jesus.
Yeah, the shit on the face, just touching the face. Like you could hear that right now.
Yeah.
Smell it. It smells like
chicken.
Filet mignon.
Jeff Johns and Gary Frank have never lost.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, fire.
The hunter and the hunted.
I
don't know. To see like that all we really get is a shot of the eye. He doesn't look like a young person. He's got forehead wrinkles. You've got
Yo, that's Benjamin Franklin.
Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
Well, they've
It makes sense.
and it's electricity.
It makes
Look
sense.
at that.
Oh my.
It makes sense.
And they did allude to the stuff in the advertisements for this, that the only remaining immortal is Benedict Arnold. You have Simon Pure and Benedict Arnold are the only two remaining immortals.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to get to see like a slaughter of the founding fathers or losing them along the way. I don't know how much retconning history they'll lean into, but my God, if they like hit you with a curveball, that would be hilarious.
Now, if that is Ben Franklin, we got to make sure DJ gets the credit for it.
Yo, that's crazy. Like for me, it's Ben Franklin, dog. The electricity, the
Makes
glasses,
sense.
the forehead wrinkles.
That's nuts. That would be hilarious.
Yo, hit up Jeff John.
And we just
call him
seen
up right now.
Yo, call
that
Jeff.
Joker naked in red coat.
Yeah.
We know
Yo,
y'all
call-
cool. Go ahead, call him up real quick and tell him join the pod.
Yo, send the link, yo. Yo, hop on, dogs.
Come here and just drop all the spoilers. My ultimate goal is to own a Gary Frank Junkyard Joe page.
Yeah.
There can be only one. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna sit here and just stay on this all night, dude. It's been a wildly busy day, and they're only getting busier moving forward. But I wanted to hop on live and I'll just get to talk about some of this, man. I've been excited for this. I've been excited for the Mad Ghost stuff from the day it dropped, but ever since NYCC went out of left field, just all of a sudden go like, what is that? And then big shout out to Flo, like my man on the ground right back, dude. Like it was just that, dude. Me and Flo, like I don't even know, like how many times I messaged him the entire weekend, just nonstop. He was sending me clips, footage, pictures. He was like living under the table of the Ghost Machine booth, doing the panels, getting all kinds of footage. I know he was excited for himself, but he made sure that we as a community had as much access to that panel, to that table, to those creators as humanly possible without being able to be there. And it was just, it's just been a whole hype train since.
And I was chained to a booth. Man.
I can't
I
wait.
didn't feel he did enough under the table action, to be honest with you.
Oh shit.
I can't wait to see who's next to be announced, because they're not done announcing creators.
True.
There's more coming.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I can't imagine who's
I'm
left.
excited.
Like, yeah, I think I was talking to Paul Sector. I'm like, if they announce Doug Mankey, I'm just done. Like, cancel all my books. This will be fine.
So is every book come out? Is Jeff John the writer is he gonna be the writing?
No, Peter J. Tomasi is writing Hornsby and Halo.
Okay.
Who else is writing stuff?
I love Tomasi.
I know Francis Manipold is doing the art on Rockefellers. Ivan Reese is doing the art on Hyde Street.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you, Flo.
May, what's her name? Maytal. She's one of the newer creators that are on. I believe she's I don't know, art or writing. She's on the horror stuff. So Devour and the what is it? Soulless.
I think
I don't
she's
know
writing.
who's attached to writing which is what. But there's no way he can carry all writing.
That's why I asked. Yeah.
Brad Meltzer's writing First Ghost.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, Brad Meltzer is on.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. The dude is like a New York Times best-selling author outside of comics on the regular. Like he stays on their list. He's constantly on late night shows like Seth Meyers and stuff. Like he was on there for his most recent. I think he did a children's book. I Am Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and talking about the life of her. And while on there, he was able to promote Ghost Machine even.
Yeah, and that Identity Crisis was pretty good too.
Beyond pretty good.
It's crazy to me because my pull list consists of Marvel, DC, and Independence. My Independence books were starting to dwindle down because I collect a lot of like miniseries, and I said, "Damn, what's going to be my next independent?" And all of a sudden, this came along. I was like, "Okay," so I'm going to dive into this universe as well.
Lamont
Yeah,
McGee. Oh man, I love the story of him, like how he was approached and asked, coming from a place of film and stuff, and he just he was beside himself, couldn't believe it. That kind of energy, I can't wait to see what he produces and what he puts out. He's literally amongst legends, you know what I mean? Like can you imagine like apprenticing and learning and mentoring under this group of people?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. My independent pull is far outnumbers. It doubles like both my Marvel and DC.
Oh, I'm the opposite. It's Marvel, DC, the Independence mine.
I was gonna say, depending on the season of the year, depends on if DC or Marvel come first for me.
Yeah.
Big shock, I know, but my pull list is pretty DC heavy.
No.
Like DC is gonna go back up once the new DC versus Vampires come out, and then
the Elseworld titles.
The Elseworld titles, yeah. When those come out, then my DC gonna come back up.
Well, DC is about to be doing a little bit of an expansion as we get closer to Absolute Power. You know, they've already dropped Suicide Squad Dream Team, which is a 4-issue mini. Hopefully, they'll do a couple more of those countdown style books. You know, that really makes an event a lot better when you don't lean too heavily into just useless tie-ins, but you do useful countdown books leading into it. That's a really great format for an event. It's worked very well in the past.
I know it's so impressive when there's like thought and time and planning that probably goes into things, and then all the other things that I complain about.
But I'm gonna enjoy that Absolute Power.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Amanda Waller. I love to hate Amanda Waller. It's just she's one of the best villains that has ever been written in DC Comics easily. She's literally the anti-Batman. She's unstoppable. She doesn't lose. With preparation, you'll never see what's coming.
Don't let Cliff
never Speaking of Batman, our boy John Jang today, huh?
Yeah, it dropped the 147 exclusive,
147.
not exclusive, 147 direct market cover featuring the Ghost guy and, more importantly, Clown Hunter. What's the Ghost dude's name? I already forgot about that character.
The Gray Ghost?
No, I wish.
Abyss?
Ghostmaker.
Yeah, I like Ghostmaker a lot. I like that character a lot.
Ghostmaker a lot. Stop it.
I like it.
I gotta look this up. Did I get 147? Like, what happened?
I don't know. John posted
147 didn't drop yet.
Okay, he posted. Okay,
maybe it's 149. It could be 149.
No, it's 140. I think it's 147.
147 is getting a lot of attention for some reason. What's going on in that issue?
So I think that specifically for him, I think it's supposed to. It's like Asian Pacific Islander month. The month it's being released.
Yeah, but I thought that issue was getting attention. Other than that, I've seen other promotional stuff for that issue before this.
New sidekick?
I don't know. I don't have a clue. I
I
wonder if Ghostmaker, lame name, and Clown Hunter.
Oh, Zorinar gets a new sidekick.
Yeah.
It's going to be Damien.
Why you do this to me, Damien? Why you do this to me?
I think it's going to be Damien, the way that last issue ended with him going all like remember Kane in RoboCop 2? How he had the screen that came out. The face on it is going, wow. Yeah, it's man, I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. It's going to be fun. Who's investing into the Blood Hunt event? How invested are you getting? 56?
No, just the main title.
Medium.
And some side
kind of the stuff you already pull, or you pulling extra for it, or just going to kind of
Black Panther, Moon Knight, things of that nature.
Have they revealed who's under the cowl of the new Moon Knight yet?
Yes.
Who is it?
It's the shocking last page of this issue, and it's wonderful.
Who is it?
He's not spoiling it.
I'm not reading it. I'm not going to read it.
All right.
Yeah, none of us read.
I want y'all got 10 seconds to
give them 3 seconds. You got 3 seconds. Just earmuff it, people. Go ahead.
All right. Earmuffs on. It's the Shroud. And that's why supervillain team up went up in price last week and suddenly appeared on cover price because it's the freaking Shroud.
What is the Shroud?
He's a villain. He's like, he's basically Batman, like, which is hilarious. Yeah. Shroud was written to be Batman in like that era that he was released, the 70s or whatever. And so, like, that's it. And so now, of course, we've got a Batman analog who the current host for it is a Batman analog.
So how many of y'all were like, oh, that's awesome?
Oh, I really dug it because I actually like not seeing it coming.
Yeah.
I was and yes, for me, I'm like, oh my God, this Batman dude, this Batman dude. Oh, like I was very pleasantly surprised. And the whole issue, the guy was like Dr. Knight or whatever the hell he is, the other Moon Knight dude who also was a host for Khonshu. He's like furious. He's like, I died for Khonshu. I died for Khonshu again. Like, I don't care. Like, this guy, he didn't earn the title. He just suddenly is, and then has the nerve to not even obey Khonshu. Just does whatever he wants. So that it's escalating.
Khonshu ain't got shit on me.
Yeah, exactly. That dude is just like.
So was this a cooler move than creating a new character?
Yes, thank God. I need this in my life, Mark. Don't take this shit from me. I'm so tired of bullshit characters like Miracle Molly or whatever the fuck her name is. Like
Ghostmaker.
Hey. No Ghostmaker hate here, okay?
Bad shade for Miracle Molly.
Ghostmaker is going somewhere. I'm just saying, like, you know, revitalize somebody once in a while. Like, good Lord, please.
Yeah, like revitalize the Silver Surfer by making him a woman. Smoke bomb.
We're not getting into this shit.
I like how he smoke bomb too. I
don't want to get into it.
No,
I'm with CJ. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, this is where the argumentative me comes in. I don't care what anybody says. I hear the words you're saying. I don't believe you, and I know it's not true in your heart. Nobody gives a shit about the Shroud, including y'all. But I'm gonna let y'all say you do.
Shit about the Shroud than I do about a certain leader of Task Force X.
Yo, let's go. Let's go.
I like when we take a nobody and do something interesting with them rather than when you take a nobody and then supplant them as something that they are not. And then put them at the head of an event that they deserve nothing to be there. You are not Darkseid, Amanda Waller. You are not Necron. You are nothing.
What was Amanda Waller's first appearance, Cliff?
What, Suicide Squad #1 or Legends or whatever the hell?
What is Legends? What does she do the first time you see her? What is she doing?
I don't remember.
So you said putting her in a situation she doesn't fit in, right? That she doesn't hold the stature to be pulling this off. The first time you're introduced to Amanda Waller ever, she's standing in front of the goddamn president of the United States, Ronald Reagan himself, and telling him how she's going to run his fucking country, and he bows to her. And that doesn't physically bow, but is already afraid of this bitch. She's called the Wall for a reason. She's earned every stripe she has on her shoulder, including the ones you can't see. She's the baddest bitch in the DC universe.
At a human level, she's fine.
Batman's a human.
And Batman's exaggerated too, but I'm just saying, if you want me to respect someone who's human going up against Batman, I'll give that to Lex Luthor, not Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller, like it's just like with Lex, he relies on his wit, his ability, and others. Amanda Waller is a master at getting her way. That doesn't mean she's swinging punches. She's the master at getting her way.
It sucks, dude. I don't buy her as a manipulator like this. I always feel shitty.
Did you read Suicide Squad Dream Team?
He's always moving the chess pieces, dog.
No, real quick. Did you read Suicide Squad Dream Team #1?
I did.
No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The last issue of Titans that came out.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so in that issue, you know, Raven is gone. Her personality is stuck in the gym. And
Don't get me started. I hate that too. Keep going.
I'm setting the stage. The evil side of her's out. Trigon is in play. Trigon, the actual fucking devil, like god tier villain, right? He is talking to him. It comes to Amanda Waller about these pieces she's been moving for 3 years. This isn't out of nowhere. I've been telling people this has been coming for 3 fucking years and telling y'all don't act surprised when it does. I've been pointing it out along the way. That's your fault for not paying attention. Now watch. Trigon is talking to her about why are you letting this and that? We need to do it this way. She's like, no, I'm going to do it my way. And he says, you dare to backtalk me? I can XYZ you right now. She goes, you think I don't prepare for someone like you? And he tries to say something to her again, like, oh, don't try me out, X, Y, and Z. She goes, I dare you to reach across my desk. Motherfucker back down too, because she is that bitch. She is prepared. She does know these characters. She is that informed. Knowledge is power, and she holds the key. And what is she after right now in Green Arrow? Fucking Sanctuary. Her goal is to get Sanctuary. Not only does she want everything she knows about him, she wants everything that they don't even know about themselves. She don't stop. I'm telling you, she is the ultimately crafted human character in that universe. She's the wall, my dude. She is the wall.
I like how CJ probably doesn't like both characters.
Yeah, he's just talking shit. Yeah.
Like, he's talking shit. Anyhow, Mark, I wish I could be as excited as you, but I give zero. I hate everything they've done with her. I'm not impressed. I'm not interested. They've wasted massive opportunities of more interesting things to escalate her, and it's a constant letdown. Evil Raven, Trigon, we've been there before. The Dr. Hate thing could have been interesting. Instead, Evil Raven, Trigon again. But I'm old. I've done Evil Raven, Trigon 1,000 times.
Remember, what was the best time you did it? What was your favorite time you did it?
I think the first time, the original George Perez Wolfman might be my favorite. I love that shit where they all wake up evil. They all have their evil possession.
I gotta say, I think the Jeff Johns run probably did it best.
No, it was fine, but he didn't do it best. You know, but he is your new best friend, so I understand. Dracula has arrived. Fresh off his win tonight on his cover battle, by the way.
Hey, Drac, hop on. The links in the Legion chat. No, but I feel you because I'm so like deep into the DC continuity. I see all these little things. There's nothing out of nowhere about this.
Mark, I'm listening to you, and I'm just like, I wish I could care. I don't. Like, I just don't. I don't care about her.
You know, the real villains.
About it. I gotta stop myself.
I agree with Cliff. I don't care. Smoke bomb.
The real
Damn it, I just shut my camera off. I was supposed to leave.
Try again.
I agree with Cliff. Smoke bomb.
There we go. Yeah, I think the real thing is definitely Failsafe and Queen Brainiac that they're setting up. They've been setting up Failsafe since the Chip Zdarsky run. I tried to ask him about it in some of his interview with actual Dracula, but he was paying a piss poor attention to the chat.
He was more interested in their tete-a-tete, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was great. But I'm excited for what's going to happen. All villains reoccur, all of them. They're on a cycle. They're absolutely on a cycle. So it's her turn. She hasn't had a turn in a long time. The closest thing we had to her was just like the Suicide Squad Justice League War back in like early Rebirth. But that wasn't Amanda Waller. So I think we haven't had Amanda Waller front run an event, and she isn't going to be out there. It's going to be her puzzle pieces out there. Just like if Lex front runs an event, it's his puzzle pieces. Like look at Villains United they did and stuff like that. He masterminded all that. Look at
but that was brilliant. And we're talking about Jeff Johns. And I'm not saying they don't have Jeff Johns level writers.
They don't.
But they're also not tapping them, and that's a problem for me too.
Yeah. Let's swing it over here to Greg. What's going on, brother?
Nothing. I was just waiting for DJ to hop off so I can hop on. So
did you get your Ghost Machine books today? Are you excited?
Yeah, I did. Are you kidding me? I'm Team Ghost Machine all day.
I know it. So we've all kind of gone through like just dude, they're all wins. But for me, hype. My favorite read was Red Coat. I love the history stuff, and then Rook with how much it shocked me with like like I didn't expect to be that invested. And then Geiger was still great as it has been.
Oh yeah.
But what's your
I think
look there?
my ranking is the exact same on that. I feel like Geiger's gonna be on the lower end of everyone's ranking just because we've lived in that world long enough.
Like 2 years
And
now.
and I guess we're spoiled now.
Yeah.
A little, maybe.
But the red coat stuff, I'm interested. I'm interested to see where we get with, you know, the whole immortal stuff and how he works. And I'm here for his zany sidekick Albert Einstein.
Yeah. Did DJ point out he's got that total Jack Sparrow falling up vibe to him too, which is really funny. That the page when he's talking up and how cool the founding fathers were and how brave and this they are, and you turn the page and he's running from the army. That's not me.
That was great. Can I share something with you guys, by the way? I own all the Geiger stuff. And I only read, of all the Geiger things I have lying around, I've only read Ghost Machine, the special. We'll call it the special. And I've only read this issue of Geiger.
You didn't
And,
read
like,
volume 1 yet?
No, it's just like laying over there. And like, so like I have them, but I haven't read them. So this was my first fully immersive multi-page book with Geiger. And I really did enjoy it. Like, don't get me wrong. These 3 books, even though I have my order of favorites, were the 3 best books I've read this week. But yeah, so I was like, okay, like, and it was enough. It was enough to like rope me in. That's why like earlier in the other chats, I was like, oh, do I need to read all that other stuff? I was like, you don't. You can just jump right in here.
Well, and that's the beautifulness of Jeff Johns' storytelling right there. Like, yes, if you read the other stuff, it enhances your reading of it. But a new reader coming in, which a handful, I feel like, of people hopping in on Ghost Machine Day are going to be new to the Geiger world, are able to hop in and not feel like they missed a beat. Now, if they want to know, like, oh, how did he become Geiger? Yeah, go back, read the 6 mini. Go back, read the 2 mini that they kind of retold here, or the 80 page, and you're good. Like, but yeah,
I feel like the Geiger Ground Zero 2 issue they did was a recap of Origin and a hint at where we're going with Geiger 1, where there's an entire story in the 6 issue original one. You get the Origin in there as well, but I would definitely, most certainly suggest at least reading the 2 issues of Ground Zero because you need the backstory of his family. You need that context to see where his motivation and his drive was and where it's at now because of how that all worked out.
Yeah, it doesn't hinder you from enjoying the story. However, it's just like, oh, well, if you know the character's motivation, that is his love for his family and connection with his family, like, and how deep that is, and you get a glimpse of that in this with
the flashback to the renewal of the vows in his daughter.
But it only enhances it, and I think when you get the character's motivation, it makes it even better. Even though like you can read it and kind of go, oh, I understand it, but it makes it personal.
What is going on, Chris?
Hey,
oh, how's it going, boys?
Good. Chris, did you dive into the Ghost Machine?
Yeah, for the last little bit, went through all 3. Then
right.
what I decided to do, decided to do is what I did as a kid when Image was first released, because I know, Mark, you and I talked about this a long time ago. This is kind of like Image 2.0. I just sat back and admired the art.
It's next level.
Yeah, so, like I hope that they can consistently deliver that. But Fabok and Gary Frank, like, my God, like this. I don't want to say a tour de force because, you know, not all of it is going to be for everyone. I know that, like, listening to you guys and earlier on my show, some guys were saying that they felt that Rook was the weak one, and other people said that the Redcoat was the weak one. It's hard for me to pick one.
Yeah, but even then, you're arguing the difference. Is this a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10? Like that's the conversation. You know what I mean?
For me, it's 5 Maple Leafs out of 5 across the board for all 3.
Across the board.
Yeah, across the board, just for all 3. Like,
so did you get a chance to read them yet?
Yeah, I went through it. Like,
what was your number 1, 2, and 3? Like, what was your?
I don't want to say Geiger by a country mile, but Geiger only because I guess I'm most familiar with that character, or the whole universe, everything that Jeff Johns has been working on for basically a year, if not a little bit longer. And then I it's kind of like 2A, 2B. Red Coat, just that little hair more than Rook, just because I feel like Rook for me, I'm going to go through it one more time, just because finding out tonight through Cliff and CBiz earlier that Rook is in its own place aside from where it is, right?
That's what they say right now
as of now. But so again, that one's a little bit more sci-fi, I feel, than the rest. So I just want to go back and go through it one more time properly. But again, like I found myself taken back to when I was like 14, 15 years old again, and just like stopping and just like, my God, the art here is just incredible. I don't think I've seen Fabok deliver anything like this since Three Jokers.
Yeah,
it's
has he done something since Three Jokers?
If he hasn't, then I guess he's keeping up with it.
I'll tell you what, I appreciate what you're saying about the art, because I caught myself just reading it and devouring it, and then I literally had to go, wait a second, I did not linger on this dope splash page enough. I went back and Rook, because there's that splash page with the city that oh my goodness, I'm like, because there was just one panel of words. I read it. I'm like, cool. Got to the next. I'm like, no, this is not how I need to read comic books. I believe
on that splash page, it had the busted. You're talking about the desolate city where he's going. Yeah. He's going there. Yep. It has the old population sign. It was like 300 and something thousand. And it's just him now in a city that was meant for like over 250,000 people.
And I'm like, Fabok did not put so many freaking hours into that splash page for me to just go, oh, that's cool, and flip. But I'm like, no, I need to soak this in.
Every page of each book, I was impressed, and I felt like there was things to admire, and they were good reads.
Yeah, and what else can you say? They were just highly entertaining,
dude. On Rook, that was the one that I was kind of the least excited for. My excitement was up there, but when
the Red Coat one.
When I got halfway through Rook, it dawned on me just how much tension is in that book and how much despair is in that book and just a feeling of hopelessness. And I'm like, this feels like a penultimate issue where everyone's about to die tomorrow and it's a race to get the rocket off the ground ASAP. I'm like, how is this an issue 1?
Right.
Exactly.
That was a proper issue 1. Then the ending with Ursal just busting in and having cracked Swine's head. Like, are we losing Swine in issue 1? Like, I was just getting to know the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Mark, I haven't gotten to check out the interview yet. Did you get a chance to figure out how far along they are with the story, like of the art and stuff that they've already written for these 3?
He said we got 6 months, guaranteed 6 months of these 3 before they get into wave number 2 when they're dropping.
Which that's what I was assuming is like that's what they're going to be doing.
3 more issues drop in 6 months. 3 more titles start in 6 months.
Right, so they give the artist a chance to play catch up. Then. Yeah,
well, not just that. I don't know if these will hiatus when the other 3 drop. I kind of like that idea of doing 6 pause, 6 pause, 6 pause. That's a really good format because, man, as much as I love these people, and Chris can attest to this, me, him, and Ryan used to say the word Jeff Johnson and put allegedly, but anytime we said it, because like if like we're looking forward to Geiger 2, it comes out the next week, allegedly, because at the time, like hot on the heels of Doomsday Clock delays and everything, and I mean
we still waiting on that. We still waiting on the next issue of the Death of Superman.
I don't know.
Of Lex Luthor.
I'll talk to you off stream about
that. my only hope.
I'll tell you now. Like I before we went live, like I didn't want to dive into too much stuff about that, like the contract stuff, and talk about it. Are you like that? That's business. That's like that's their personal business kind of stuff. Like we'll see it when we see it. Nothing I say or ask will change that. But I just told him that I really enjoyed that prestige format reading experience of his art. I can't wait for issue 2, and all I got was
silence.
That I think I got 1 blink out of him in a 4-second period. like okay, maybe we'll never get. I don't know. It's just kind of just like just a mention, like but he might have just thought nothing of it. That might be something. There's no way to tell one way or the other, but we'll see.
The one thing I wanted to add to that, and because I know we just talked about 6 issues and then hitting a break, as something is killing the children fan, there's nothing more stressful or disappointing knowing, or Saga as well, is that you get this fantastic arc and all of a sudden pause, and then there's nothing from that world, like there's nothing from that universe that to help carry that over. I know with Something's Killing the Children, you have the also ran story of House of Slaughter that's happening. That's not tying into the main characters, what's happening with Something's Killing the Children. My only wish then is for this, especially with the Geiger verse, the Geiger world that's happening, is that every month that we still have something coming out that's addressing what's happening in one character specific timeline, or what potentially could be happening in the past or future with characters. If they're being introduced, that's fine. I just don't want a solid pause like what we're dealing with from Brian K. Vaughan with Saga, or James Tynion with Something's Killing the Children.
It can kill a series, man. We've seen it happen.
Yep, and it just, if like Mark was saying, like I know Mark, how many times we sat down on a Sunday night, and it's just like the air gets let out of the room when the trains are rolling, and then it's 8 months of nothing. Like just,
and then when you
nothing.
get the next issue, and it's like just like, all right, let's see what's happening finally. Well, what happened last, and why are they recapping? Why are they recapping?
Yeah,
we don't need a recap.
My final point on this is, look what happened with The Last Ronin. Like it was delayed, and then it came out and it was hell's bells. The first issue, we got to see what happened with Raph and the whole 9 yards, and then it was silence to the second issue, and that was its own limited series that almost took a full year to complete, and that ain't right. It ain't right.
Like 4 issues, wasn't it? 5 issues.
You want to talk about an issue that took forever? Swamp Thing goes.
Lemire. Green Hell had,
there was a sickness.
Green Hell, that was it. Yeah, I couldn't think of it.
Well, Green Hell had, like, I'm not going to get into it because it was told to me in private, but it had stuff that isn't been talked about publicly happened with it. It was literally nobody's fault at all.
Yeah, don't get me started with Justice Society of America.
That dude, like that. You know how hard it was for me to not bring that up and talk about. Are we going to get the 12th issue? Why did this issue introduce the Legionnaire when we know, like, you're supposed to spin off a Legion series from this that now probably isn't going to happen? Do you have somebody else on it? Can it be Jeremy Adams?
Yes, and yes,
but he would be the guy. Hand JSA to Jeremy Adams. Done. Problem solved.
If you want to hook Generation X-Men and Millennial Men, put a damn cult in the comic book and you have them hooked. This was so much fun. The splash page.
I gotta agree with you because it was when the cult is I was like, whoa, I was all over.
Like I was just like, what? Like, here's the curveball, and man, oh man, that was a 99 mile an hour curveball that was just delicious to read. It was. Absolutely. This was a lot of. That's why I said it's like 2A, just above Rook. But my goodness, like the more and more I think about this, I'm thinking I kind of enjoyed this a little bit more than Geiger.
But
again, ask me tomorrow. It might be a different story.
Did you catch the Easter eggs in there? So like I put them in clear backer boards right away. Yeah. But I showed those guys, and I didn't want to talk about spoilers on the stream yesterday. I had read these ahead of time. Yeah. And they Easter egg these books, and I mentioned that I noticed some stuff in there that clearly shows they're having a lot of fun. And when he has to bust out the window in that just glorious page splash down there on the building, it says Mr. X-Ray, and then right here where my finger is, he lands where he jumps out. He lands on Hyde Street. And Jeff Johns said, when I said that, he goes, well, they're not exactly Easter eggs because they have more meaning than just being in there for fun. I'm like, okay. So it's almost like the unofficial confirmation that the Hyde Street universe. I think all of this is they're saying it's separate universes. I think for numerous reasons. Like they are, but you can easily bring them together because how they're introducing them. Like with Rook being like 100 and something years in the future beyond Geiger. If you want to, we got portals, confirmed portals. Junkyard Joe 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like I said before, the fact that it's 48 pages for $3.99 makes it even sweeter.
Yep. Good quality paper.
Yes. I really expected this when I first pre-ordered it. I thought it was going to be like a $5.99 type of book because of the pages. When I saw $3.99, I was like, "Oh, I'm happy now."
Yeah, they went to. They're. I guess they're following that Todd McFarlane rule. If you can make it cheap, make it cheap. But the card stock is great. Yeah,
yeah, they were the quality
paper. You're right.
Yeah. While the other companies are while the companies, the big boy companies with money, are slimming their paper and sending out wavy books because the printing ink is just you have them investing in quality for their readers. I mean, I said it earlier, like this is what comics need: creators that love what they do, that have passion for this format, this medium, and truly want to put out good stuff for people to read. And this is the quality of these. When you read these, like Chris said, he felt like a teenager again with how much fun he had. That's not a common experience with books. Even the ones that you get like, man, I love this book, blah, blah, blah. Read these and see how you feel. That's not the same feeling. Like that feeling that I feel like is really good on stuff, this far exceeded it. It really puts a perspective into the quality question again with our average comics. It's just different. Completely different experience.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys lived through that the same way that I did when Image was first started, but I can remember I can remember getting my hands on Spawn, and right away the texture of the paper was totally different from the Marvel and from the DC outside of the Prestige or the Epic line or like I said, the Prestige of like what the Killing Joke was or the Dark Knight was, and just being like, wow, this is great. And then picking up the Savage Dragon, and like these are books looking back now, yeah, that it was easy storytelling, but at the moment it was such a breath of fresh air. It was just so different, something that you never experienced before, like a very popular independent that wasn't, kind of underground or Ninja Turtles or Black and White, that kind of thing. And that's kind of what I felt here, that Ratatouille moment where you just like whoosh, taken right back to this particular time in your life. And you're like, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Chris, that good quality Image paper ultimately led to the death of Malibu Comics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marvel's like, we need paper like that. These presses are expensive. Buy Malibu Comics instead. Shut them down. Shelve their characters.
Well, a big reason they shelved the characters is the guy they made the deal with. He still has to get paid a little something every time they print any of those characters.
Yeah. Marvel always had an issue with paying creators, haven't they?
Yeah.
Look at Siegel and Schuster. Siegel and Schuster the creators of Superman almost died of hunger.
Yep.
That's insane. Yeah. That is insane. Yeah. Shout out to Neil Adams.
Yeah.
Save Superman.
Right, because Neil Adams was the one who was like, do you see these guys?
Neil Adams walked into DC on day one. And he said, where's Siegel and Schuster? I would love to meet them. They're like, they don't work here. He's like, what'd you say? He went on a one-man rampage to the press.
Yep.
And
he's the original Todd McFarlane fighting for creators' rights.
Both publishing houses buried co-creators for their both biggest franchises. Like Bob Kane got all the glory for Batman. Stan Lee got all the glory for Spider-Man. To be
fair, the Bob Kane situation is vastly different because that was at a time when the industry does not look like it is right now, and hiring ghostwriters and stuff was completely normal at the time. So it wasn't until the character's popularity became relevant and the income and the shift in the industry did it actually become like a matter of appropriate to properly recognize people. And by then, Bob Kane's ego and how normal it was, just that's the way a business is structured. Like, so I don't think Bob Kane, like if someone did that today, that would be deplorable. But back then, that was kind of like a norm. That's why you drew people generically and consistently. So your pen worker can come in behind you and do it. And they're getting paid. They entered the job knowing that. And when Bill Finger took that job, he didn't take a job thinking, let me draw the most iconic character that'll ever be known for this guy so he could take all the glory. No, it's just a job drawing a silly cartoon.
Totally agree. But like this is modern though, because even with
it took him a long time.
Tim Burton's Batman, only Bob Kane was recognized for that.
And if you look at those interviews, it was don't
even ask him about Jerry Robinson.
Joker was all his too, apparently. But
If
yeah,
he created him, then why do I have this bar napkin with the drawing on it?
yeah,
That's just like the Siegel Schuster thing. I absolutely love that. Anytime you see any property that has Superman in it, it says Superman, created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Schuster with a special agreement with the family. Like they forever, like something that iconic forever. It needs to be acknowledged. And I guess same like Bill Finger deserves his flowers tenfold. And it is sad that it took him that long to acknowledge it. But yeah, that's all like I mean, like it is what it is, but I think like it made it to the right point as fast as it could kind of thing. Because it wasn't how the industry was done. Like they were creating history, going back and retconning credit to these people and stuff like that, you know. It's stuff that you don't think about when you're at work because that's not your job to think about. It's your job to be marketing books or to be contacting shops to sell books or to be drawing books or be writing books. So at what point does someone have to say, like I talked to all the Ghost Stream guys, none of them had ever heard a Key Collector app. Not one of them. So I mean, like their job is to do this. They're not looking, you know what I'm saying? So it isn't a matter of not wanting to credit someone or not. It's just how do they find out? You know, like you would think that they'd heard of, like to us, that's like saying Coca-Cola.
Everyday shit, yeah.
Yeah, they'd never heard of it because like I was talking about how like I was excited for Red Coat. I went on like a one-man warpath to get it added into Key Collector. They're like, what the fuck is that? Like it's a very important app for comic book hunters.
Yeah, like I feel like that's something that like, you know, when the show wraps, it's like, yo, get our assistant on it. We need to know what Key Collector is. Because I just feel like we are your community that you are selling to. And it's like, well, we got to know what's going on with them. Like if they're using this app, we got to know what this app is.
I mean, let's be honest. The big two are still retroactively giving credit to people. They just did it last weekend.
Who they add?
The Roy Thomas on Wolverine. The editor.
Wow. Oh man.
Listen, a lot of people have to fight for every like little inch, you know, and be like, I was in on this too. I have my credit.
But that gets so fucking petty.
I'm not saying they're in the right on this.
That is so petty. Now, what it is they want royalties on these massively huge. Where's the editor wanting credit for the Shroud? I want to see that argument.
Well, let me know when the Shroud is appearing with Deadpool in a movie.
Exactly. I believe both.
It's very fitting timing that Roy Thomas has.
I don't think we're gonna have a big. Herb Trimpe was one of the co-creators, and he passed away.
Wolverine
of the Shroud, and he also, by the way, he did not get his proper credit.
How many co-creators are there on Wolverine at this point?
Oh, I don't know. It's like 5, but I personally feel Herb should have gotten it, and Herb never. Fans of Herb really came to it and understood, but I don't feel a lot of people gave him the credit that he needed. He needed that credit. And it's like, oh well, so and so drew. Okay, yeah, but this motherfucker put him in the book. Yeah. You know, like he got it right. He knocked it out. He made the final details. I love Herb. I met the dude. He was like 89 or whatever. He leapt over the table like Wolverine to take a picture of my friend and his kid that he named Logan because he loves Wolverine so much. It was the greatest day of this guy's life. I loved Herb. May he rest in peace. His 90-something-year-old mother was sitting at the convention with him. It was amazing.
You know what's funny? You mentioned that about Logan. Like, y'all know, like I'm known to be this big DC head, and Chris knows this. My 2 kids are named after Marvel characters.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like
Ben's not his first name, and Monkey's not her first name.
Oh well, that makes a lot of sense.
I have to drop off. So it's been a pleasure.
Hey, thank you so much for hopping on, my man.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna do it again sooner than later. You too, Chris. Both of y'all shows.
Terrific,
and Cliff. You know,
and I'll see you Sunday and Monday.
See you Sunday, Monday.
By the way, Steve Englehart was the writer who created the Shroud.
I kind of feel the creators of Wolverine. It's kind of like Rob Liefeld with Deadpool.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Yeah, Fabian.
Yeah, you created something very special, but with Wolverine, it took Chris Claremont and John Byrne to make Wolverine who he was, and multiple writers and artists to make Deadpool the household name that he is now today. Like
unless you talk to Rob Liefeld.
Unless
yeah.
Doctor of Life.
Well, like on that note, or like despite the time gap, are we going to give Neil Adams credit for creating Batman then? Because Neil Adams recreated Batman to what he is today.
And when I think of Neil Adams, I think of he made the Joker. Like how many times have you and I talked about
I
it?
say that all the time. That's when the Joker
the,
got dark.
The Joker was just a
But
secondary villain, and now he's a terrorist. The number one villain in comics.
He created the Dark Knight. Like,
yeah.
Neil Adams created the Dark Knight aspect of Batman. Like, he really did bring that, because we went from OG Batman with the guns and killing villains and stuff and all that. And his first appearance, he kills a guy who's murdered, dead. And then we go into the wacky 50s and 60s and stuff. And then you get Neil on Brave and the Bold, selling so good it turns into a Batman title. And then, boom, we get the Dark Knight.
And Ra's al Ghul.
Okay, Herb was younger than I thought. He was 75 when he passed away. I thought he was much older. I was a little thrown off by the 90-something-year-old mother, who I assume was 90-something years old.
But yeah.
Oh my God. By the way, DVH said, Reed the Monster is born. That is the monster on the wraparound. He's on the fake ad in Ghost Machine -- 1 named as the monster.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what I'm thinking. Like the monster of Hyde Street is the monster on the Geiger timeline. Let's show you what I'm talking about, Chris. You're familiar with the unnamed timeline. And on the timeline, it says, this is just another connection between Hyde Street and the Geiger universe. The monster is right there on the unnamed. This has nothing to do with Hyde Street, Rook, or the Family Odysseys, but in Hyde Street in the Geiger one shot, they showed us him confirmed in Hyde Street, but that's him. And the Mr. X-Ray ad page on here and stuff, in the guy in Ghost Machine 1, there's an ad for the Make Your Monster kind of thing. So, and he's clearly a Frankenstein character, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Frank Miller created Daredevil. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope.
He saved Daredevil 100%.
I remember that 181 video you did.
There's three. There's three 181s that you need to concern yourself about.
Hulk, Daredevil, and who's the other one?
Wasn't it Batman, the third one?
It is Batman.
Yeah.
Shit, is that the one with the Joker on it? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Are you Googling right now?
Of course I'm Googling. Oh, Poison Ivy. All right, yeah, fine. Of course you would, Chris. Of course you would.
Hey, she has the third best DC book out right now. Wonder Woman, Detective Comics, and Poison Ivy.
That's subjective.
I mean, that's
Wonder Woman is not subjective.
No, Wonder Woman's great.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's great. I
That
think
is
we all agree.
Insane how good that book is. It doesn't make sense.
Man,
reading it for years.
Tom King, give me a Tom King writing superheroes in just a social like environment where they're just like buddy, like his 2-issue arc with Bruce and Clark and Lois and Selena was fantastic. And then we got that kind of glimpse here with Wonder Woman 7 with Wonder Woman and Clark. Like, good golly, I will take those slice of life books with superheroes all day by Tom King.
Dude, what was issue number 6? Dude, my jaw was on the floor.
The DC fight?
Yeah, in the DC fight, my jaw was on the floor. I'm just
that also helps with the artwork that was happening.
Daniel Sampier is crushing it, but just the way the books are structured, the way that he's telling the story, he switches his style up so flawlessly in all of his works. Like if you read this, the next title will have a different style, like Penguin. All the narration bubbles are done by the person Penguin is interacting with, not by Penguin, by whoever he's talking to. You get their narration bubbles. In that Wonder Woman 7, it was all the Sovereign talking past tense about the fight and their perception of it, and how they were just like so cocksure and how they X, Y, and Z. And then all of a sudden it lost all logic for them. They couldn't understand. It could only be described simply as she's Wonder Woman. And the fact that they acknowledged like that they were willing to sacrifice Swan to get to Wonder Woman. And that was their biggest flaw in that moment when we delivered the killing blow we underestimated her. There was someone there that needed saving. So she dug down deep and found a power that's undescribable. That can only be described as she's simply Wonder Woman.
It's as someone that's been reading Wonder Woman for, before the pandemic started, Mark and I have talked about this at length. When you get the right creative team on a character, it changes everything. Superman was down in the trenches. No one was reading it, or it was being ripped apart. And then all of a sudden, you get the right creative team on there, starting with Action Comics, and then it carries over to Superman. And all of a sudden, people are like, "Hey, this Superman book, this Action Comics is pretty good. It's a nice, it's an interesting family dynamic, and his son all of a sudden is an interesting character to me." And it's the same thing with Wonder Woman. Like, I was against the whole idea of a brand new volume, starting it at #1. Like, just keep going from 700 on. But yeah, it's worked out very well. Now, there's been a lot of dry spots with Wonder Woman over the years, but the Finches hit it out of the park. But I almost feel like that was almost 10 years ago. It was that long ago. There's been a few good arcs ever since, but they kept milking the same characters around whatever film was going to be coming out. But now, it's just a different style of writing, and it has fantastic artwork, like what you said. And now she's finally getting her due.
Also,
we'll see what happens.
They had several months where they were pre-gaming this, the two of them. And of course, all of that for Ghost Machine has paid off heavily, right? Everyone had time. I keep telling people, part of why this Wonder Woman arc is so good is because there was time. Daniel was working with Tom behind the scenes prior to. They were preparing for this. He had lead time to get the artwork done and shining, which is like amazing. Like, yeah. But again, whatever. I love Daniel's artwork. You know, I hate that his artwork is so beautiful on that series that I don't like. But it's so wonderful to see him here on Wonder Woman, and Tom's writing actually shining here on Wonder Woman.
Like, I've never been to DC, but my God, that the artwork for that arc, you know, with Congress and all the big American sites around DC, it's like something like right out of a photograph. It was just really, really well done. And
and again,
it's nice to see Wonder Woman, you know, being appreciated, because there's been a few filler issues, let me tell you.
Dude, and this filler issue with Superman and Wonder Woman shopping for Batman was so good.
It was almost Tarantino-like with the conversations they were having. But yeah.
Yes, but it was great. It took us right back to their old friends, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and man, Journey, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit, because I think that was a little bit out of Tom King's hands. From people I've talked to, that was not the route he wanted to go, but DC editorial was kind of like, no, we can't have that happen. But
they kind of, they had an objective with that was wildly different than his.
Yep, and that's why we ended up getting Batman Catwoman mini, because of that.
Is this the one that had Phantasm show up?
No, he's talking about
he's talking probably about the original
wedding. He's talking about the
wedding in issue 50.
I'm sorry.
And then Tom King did Batman Catwoman with the Phantasm because of that.
Right. And that was a 12 issue, I believe. Prestige format.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was I've talked to a handful of artists on that said there was a different vision of what they wanted to do, but DC editorial was too afraid to pull the trigger on having Batman and Catwoman actually marry.
Yeah.
So I can't say if it's true or not, but
I heard similar things.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, that's the business sometimes when you are with the big two, and when you're doing a book with someone of a caliber of at Batman's level. I think Tom King shines when he gets to do characters like Mr. Miracle and stuff, where I couldn't tell you continuity of Mr. Miracle if it that's not the Mr. Miracle I know. So it works out when he can do Adam Strange, when he can do Mr. Miracle, when I don't have, as a diehard comic fan, get to know the you know, like, oh, that's not my Adam Strange. I don't know. I haven't read an Adam Strange book until Tom King.
Bro, what I feel like I hear a lot of like the Tom King naysayers always say like he's subverting the character, he's ruining but all he's doing is taking the character and taking an existing aspect about them that they are known for, and he's exacerbating it.
Yep.
Look at Human Target. People are like, oh, he made Guy Gardner a dick, and then I'm like,
That's
Did he?
Guy
Did he?
Gardner is.
That was
He is.
Dude.
But like, look at Mr. Miracle. He made Mr. Miracle depressed and suicidal. All Mr. Miracle is depressed. Like, people can do him differently, but he has a tragic backstory, and it wasn't like he was depressed, and he's finding his own limits and stuff and wanting to escape. Like, that was fantastic story. And Adam Strange, like, how far is he willing to go for the ones he's loved? That's all he's ever done. Like in The Man of Two Worlds, he's willing to go across the galaxy for the ones he's loved. You know, like, he's just taking a known aspect of a character and pushing it farther down the road and seeing what that story looks like. It's genius. And the fact that if every book on the shelf was that, not necessarily how I want the universe, but when we get to do that with a character here and there, like, that's a great variety to your pull list. I love it.
Yeah. Wedding books and wedding stories generally are like
I only know one
50,
that's ever
50.
worked out. Yeah, I only know
50,
one that's ever
50.
worked out. No, two. There's been only two that's worked out. Marvel's First Family,
Reed and
Superman
Sue.
and Lois. That's it.
Yeah, because Peter and MJ broken up a couple times, and
let's not bring up that trauma. We're traumatized as comic.
What's another power couple? Comic book power couple that's actually lasted like those two.
Oh, Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Yeah, well, they haven't got married, but they are
power
a
couple.
power couple.
Because North Star and his husband haven't broken up, but I wouldn't call them a power couple.
But his husband is a human, which I resent because North Star should be able to have someone who can come out and play, which is why I am constantly shipping Iceman with all his superpowered boyfriends. I'm just like, nope, I want him to have somebody he can go on adventures with. That's what I love about Wicked and Hulkling. No one has to stay home. No one has to go, oh no, my hubby's at home. No, it's like, I'm gonna get the sword. It's like, and I've got the spell prepared.
This is how you build a marriage, man. You gotta put in the time.
If your gay marriage isn't built on ruling an intergalactic empire and thwarting evil symbiotic creatures across the galaxy, then I don't know what. Then I don't know if I want that gay power couple.
Cliff, I'm just telling you, you're setting some high expectations for a lot of gay marriages. I'm just letting you know. There's going to be a lot of marriages that are going to crumble because of your expectations you're putting on them.
Have you seen gay marriages?
Todd and Leia didn't work out. Like,
no, my engagement didn't work out. So, you know, it came close though. He was 6'6". We definitely knew how to enter a room and wreck shit. Oh, you activated me again. No, congratulations.
Yeah, I don't see anyone mentioning any other power couples like that.
No, but the ones I do, I'm a big fan. Storm and Black Panther was so good. I wish they didn't let that go.
Like the 07 stuff.
That one
hurts. Good. And them and the Fantastic Four. Oh, I ate that shit up. I was loving it.
I'm trying to think of another power couple.
Al Simmons and Wanda? No.
Notable couple.
Let's be honest.
They were a power
the
couple.
ultimate power couple, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
Yeah, that's a good one. But, man, it's hard to top the bromance of
Eddie Brock and the
Blue
symbiote.
Gold.
Yeah.
Man, you can't top. I don't think you can top the bromance between Booster Gold and.
I really don't think
you hit the ball on it. Oh, Harley and Poison Ivy.
I guess they got to get some more years under their belt to get up there, but they got potential for sure.
They got a few years under their belt at this point.
Hey, Pops is in with one. Earth 2 Batman and Catwoman, they brought us the Huntress. Even.
Right.
They wrote it out to the bitter end.
Yeah.
But you could because it was Earth 2.
No one remembers second
by
place.
the way, am I the only one who remembers that in those JLA All-Star Squadron crossovers, they were trying to hook up Power Girl and Firestorm? I thought It's like I'm like that's one of the things that I'm devastated. Went absolutely nowhere. If you know, like the end of that crossover where they fought Perdegaton, right? It's just the two of them standing by the window chit chatting because they're the young members, and I was like, oh my god, I'm shipping this so hard and nothing.
You keep using that phrase. Can I ask you a serious question? What the hell are you talking about? What does that mean? I'm shipping it. Is
shipping
that new
when you're relationshiping to people in your imagination, you're shipping it.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm wearing a flamingo shirt, bro. Don't expect me to know what that means.
I honestly,
your flamingos are just like fluorescent tonight, and I love it.
Cliff, you were getting so excited about Earth 2. I was like, he's like, does anyone else remember? I'm like, that obscure one season TV show called Earth 2 from 1994. I was like, yes, I do. With
I remember that too.
Like, I've been waiting for that question.
I was like, I've been waiting all day to talk about the TV show Earth 2 that lasted for one season in the mid 90s. Let's talk about it, Cliff. And then you just went a different route, and I got so disappointed.
I mean, I watched it, but I did not love it. In fact, the number one reason I watched it was because it was called Earth 2.
It's sad we're talking about Earth 2.
Is it sad?
Yeah, Firestorm wasn't around when the squad came up, but I'm talking about All-Star Squadron and the team of the Perdegaton team. Pops, you're letting me down here. You know what I'm talking about. George
is this Roy Thomas era?
Oh my god.
Is this Roy Thomas era?
I believe so, yeah.
So we're talking 80s.
Yeah, because I think this is their last big crossover before Crisis happens.
The big deaths, yeah.
Roy Thomas, one of the creators of Wolverine, right?
Wolverine, yeah.
Who was the Prime Minister of Canada at the time? Trudeau, their first Trudeau. Yeah, he had something to do with it too.
Yeah, he's got to get his flowers. Yeah. What is going on? I have issues.
I can never have Roy Thomas on my show as an interview because then you all will be clipping this.
Yo, Greg, are you got any plans on ever trying to make it to Heroes Con, man?
I have plans. The problem is it always falls on Father's Day.
That's the strength of it. You're a father, right?
Yeah, but my family, we've gone to this camp that always starts on Father's Day. So like right now, it kind of would be one of those. If I can make it happen, it would be I'd drive down on a Thursday, be there Thursday night, get to expend all Friday, and then drive back Saturday at the con. I couldn't do all weekend right now.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine.
I think Alan did that
listen,
last year.
I'm there for it, but to get a hotel room for 2 nights without my wife and spend money on passes, it's a little tougher when she doesn't get to tag along.
Oh, well, for one, it's one night.
But it's Father's Day. Just flex that.
Well, I'd have to get Thursday night and Friday night because then I would drive Saturday.
Oh, drive Saturday. I got you. Yeah. And just do it. Just invite her. Bring the kids. Just do it.
I don't want to bring my kids on an 8-hour road trip to freaking Carolina.
Fair enough. It's father. So me and Pops go. My wife's mad cool. She's like, that's what you like to do for Father's Day. It's Father's Day. Do it.
And mine would be the exact same way. It's that we schedule this camp every year because our kids like it, and I'm not gonna like, oh, we don't want to go the same week that your friends go.
Yeah, dude, I'm seriously like, I'm just like just tell her like, is it Kids Day or is it Father's Day?
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Johnny
listen,
and Alicia Masters.
I'm literally going to a con in 2 weekends and like leave. My mother is coming, so like into town, and she's like, she's cool. I've left my wife with my mother-in-law and my kids for a couple days to go to cons, and it's cool. I'm not saying that, Pop. This is horrible advice. I love my kids. Like, I thought you loved Mark too, but this is horrible advice. Like, I question your fathering a little bit.
Hey, I made it this far.
Yeah. Alicia Masters.
So by the way, the crisis that I'm stuck on is called Crisis on Earth Prime.
That one the 80s, was it? Was it the 80s?
Yeah.
Earth Prime?
Yeah, Crisis on Earth Prime, yes. Because Earth Prime has no heroes.
It was like 96.
Yeah, Earth Prime has 0 heroes, just the Superboy that read the comics and looked up to being the heroes. And it was in DC Comics Present they first introduced that and everything. Yeah,
so part 1 was an All-Star Squadron 14, Justice League of America 207
Share
is
your
part
screen.
2. Okie dokie.
I just want to see some of these covers. You got covers on there?
I do. Oh shit, I lost you. Hold
Your
on.
TV's off, Kyle.
Oh,
There we go. So there's part one.
yeah, I guess that is.
Doesn't
it.
really look as good.
I don't remember that.
Oh wait, no, this one too. Really? Oh my god, I love these covers too.
Oh, I
Hit
like
some of the
these
other
things.
ones. I'm trying to see if any of them stand out. If I notice them.
Nope.
Nope. What's the release
Love
date?
these.
Does it say there, Cliff?
Issued 82.
Okay.
Bob said the Earth Prime with Wondar was around then.
Okay. So this was just a little bit before my reading time. I would have been 8 at the time for this.
And then this one is a Perez cover, if I remember correctly.
Late bloomer, huh, Chris?
8?
8. No, I was
It's
reading.
still-
I was
it's still
reading
not
Archie
reading.
at the time. Sorry.
No, I'm just realizing how much older you are than me.
Yeah, but I'm still handsome, so it's all good.
And look at the billing on this, the 20th annual team up of the Justice Society and the Justice League of America.
Wow.
20.
I got the first appearance of their first team up.
Nope, this Ulster Squadron. Here's 208. And this is the first time I ever heard of Per Decaton was reading this.
Like,
I mean, Degaton had been around.
I've seen those floating head.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, it was
before,
all
not like
new.
this.
But what's a per Degaton? Like hell,
That doesn't-
Degaton was even in the most recent JSA stuff.
You're right.
Yeah,
Issues.
but this is like his name, Per Decaton.
I disagree with you, Issues, because my back tells me I'm 80 years old, but I am not 80 years old.
Oh, dude, there we go. Power couple. Thank you, CJ, Mr. Miracle, and
Yes,
Big Barda.
They are.
Easily a
And
power couple.
man, Big Barda and Kelly Thompson's Birds of Prey has been fantastic in this screen.
Yeah.
time.
Team Nerdy has been keeping me up to speed with it, telling me how good it's been. And I know John's dipped his toes into it as well, but I haven't been reading it.
I love the characterizations of the team that Kelly Thompson has with this Birds of Prey. The first arc was good. The second arc's been a lot of fun too.
You damn sure don't look it, CJ. It's all
It's
the
hard to tell
cannolis.
with his hands.
Those cannolis are really aging you, CJ.
It's all that stressful driving, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
not how.
He's a
All
good
right,
dude.
it's almost 11 o'clock at night on Masters Week for me. I'm glad I went live. I don't know how my schedule's going to look. I wanted
What
to
is
get on.
Masters Week?
He
This
lives in
weekend.
Augusta.
Yeah, man.
Who the
I
man?
don't know what that is. Explain.
All right,
I'm sorry.
imagine like Super Bowl level crowds and stuff, but imagine it lasts for 10 days and it's golf instead of football.
in a small town.
It's like
I don't know,
WrestleMania that
is
never
Augusta-
ends in Augusta.
I'm just
Well,
Augusta
it's-
sounds
yeah,
like
it's-
Atlanta or a bigger city is all.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
it's not a bigger city, that's for damn sure. And it's I work like a third of a mile away from the golf course, and it's
The Masters is the Super Bowl of golf, professional golf. Cliff.
so,
Oh, okay. I actually have kind of heard of it. I just did not relate it to
The
Georgia.
trophy is
or it
actually
being a-
Augusta, Georgia. It is. Listen, I will be watching the next 4 days while I read my comics. It'll be on the background.
Yeah.
all
Clip,
weekend.
the trophy is the famous green jacket.
If you've seen Happy Gilmore, that's where they get that jacket from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's why I'm familiar with its existence. By the way, can I just bring up, unrelated to Ghost Machine and everything else, this fabulous foil cover. I love this so much. I
Mercado,
really do.
yeah. It has a Steve Rude vibe to it.
So good.
Yeah, and this was Miguel Mercado, I believe.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, dude, I mean, it's just I was so unexpected. And when I saw this yesterday, I was like, oh crap, I just grabbed it.
Can
I
you
just
say
love
can
it.
you say his name a little bit more Spanish, like the way you did on my show?
Miguel Mercado?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
It is the language of love.
Oh, listen, every time you say Ivan, and I'm sitting here going, Ivan.
Yvonne.
You know. But dude, it's not easy.
But
'cause-
I'm not like one of those people that I'm like, I want to go get some fresh mozzarella. I'm not gonna
It's
be like,
mozzarella. That's
I'm not
why.
gonna be like, hey, have y'all read this book? The art is great. It's by this guy called Jorge Jimenez. I'm not that guy.
And,
Like,
and
I
listen,
wanna
and
read the shit
listen,
in
I
English.
just,
It is
it's
Jorge
really
Jimenez.
funny because
It's
Jorge-
George Jimenez, is what Mark calls him.
George Jimenez.
Come on.
That's how Mark calls him.
I'm just gonna read this shit in English. It says Jorge Jimenez. Got it.
listen, as
Yeah,
long
Jorge
as you
Jimenez.
say Jorge to his face, all right, that's all I care about.
Jorge Jimenez. Like, I'm
But
not-
yeah, no, before
Yeah,
I
Macado.
met Joe Prado and
What did I do here?
Ivan and
It's
all of
not
them,
Greg. It's really not.
I don't know what he's disagreeing with me on. So.
yeah,
I've said a lot of things that
I
are
talked
controversial tonight,
to
apparently.
I talked to my Brazilian coworker before I met them at Comic-Con in 2008 or 9, and I was like, "How do I say everyone's name? I do not want to butcher." And Ivan is pretty common in Spanish, same pronunciation, but I would have said Reyes for his last name, and she goes, "No, it's Hayes," and I'm like, "It's Hayes." So anyhow, when I met him and Rod, I was just like, "Yeah, blah blah blah. Your last name's Hayes." Whatever. They're like, "Oh my god, how'd you know?" And I'm like, "I'm so happy right now."
Well, there's
Like-
a few that I'm really aware of, and they're not really foreign. Like Mark Miller is not Mark Millar. Like
Yep.
Miller.
it's Mark Miller. One that actually like gets me like, oh, that's wrong, is Brian Bolland. It's not Brian Boland. It's Brian Bolland, like Holland.
Where do you land on the creator of Something's Killing the Children?
Oh, I avoid that title. That's what I like.
It's JTIV, man.
yeah. I'm James Tynan.
Oh yeah, no, I was getting it wrong. I found out it was
When I
Tynan.
first
I was like, oh, there we
read
go.
his name before ever speaking, I'm like Tinian.
I would say Tinian all the time.
Samsonite. I was way off.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's still. I see so many people still call it Tinian, and he literally says it in his Twitter. It says
Sammy,
Tynan.
Swanson, Samsonite. I was way
Yeah.
off. Maybe it's on the briefcase.
It's on the briefcase.
You dumb and dumber.
Dumbledore.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna
Saying I have a chance.
we'll log off here for the night, guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on. I appreciate everybody coming hanging out in the
Thanks
chat.
for
I
having
hope
me.
everyone gets a chance to go pick up these books if you haven't already and read them and just to get to experience like just truly how good comics can be, because these are. It's a new standard setting book right here. But that's gonna do it for tonight. Catch you on the flip side.